Starting, you should join the AP.
The stream or the IP?
The stream.
Okay.
Try joining a spectator.
Then yeah, you got stuck in that cycle. So we're going back to offense this time, right?
How do you want to start it?
Well, there isn't much. We talk about neutral, we'll talk about defense, and I think I never explained was probably you know.
Did you change the title for your stream?
I did not because I forgot.
We'll do that now.
I should.
Yeah.
It changes by changing a bit. It saves the yeah, it's fine. Okay. So much stuff going on here. Okay. This is gonna be I think a lot worse than the rest because offense is a lot more complicated to explain. We remember when we talk about neutral, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I need you some of your collaboration instead of you eating chips or whatever you're eating right now. And I explained all the stuff about neutral and all. You can just kind of go under and all that, right? And here's the thing. It connects to offense and defense. Like you need one to have the other, and you need the other to have this one. So you. Okay.
Wait, so you need defense to have offense?
Yes, actually yes. They're complementary. They are like the same, the different face of the same coin. By having good offense, you get good defense, and by having good defense, you get good offense. Because if you understand how, for example, if you know that your opponent good defense will be able to have the flowchart I talk about, right? You block low, and then you block high, because the only cancel I can do from here is usually high.
Yeah.
By knowing that, then a good thing to do is to do that. By knowing that good defense will be to just kind of do that, so that's the best way to go around the defense. Instead, it's basically just going for what's the word? Not reverse. Reverse engineering the offense into defense and vice versa.
Yeah. So like basically figuring out defending.
You got cut out completely.
Alright, so it's basically when you're pressuring them, you think about what your pressure if they were you, and then you try to play around.
Pretty much, yes. By doing that, you can counter them. So the offense, there's a lot to talk about, but I think the most interesting, not most interesting, the most important thing that I want to discuss about is Okizeme, immediately. Because
the hardest thing.
Yeah, I know, because while pressure is like, you do the thing and then you just kind of follow up and whatever. Because I explained how defense works, if you like go into that video and rewatch it by thinking about how to apply that into offense, by reverse the positions, like you are attacking instead of defending, and understanding how defense works in that general sense, you can create some basic pressure, like really good basic pressure. But Okizeme is something that I notice people don't know how to apply in Hisoutensoku, either because of
hard.
It's hard in general. Okizeme is hard in general, but like let me don't tech, just wake up, right? In a normal fighting game, if I knock you down, normal Oki will be to just kind of follow up by doing something meaty, maybe a jump in or a button. So let me see. It's really hard to meaty. The frames are not made.
Let me do it.
There we go. Or meet the opponent. The usual Okizeme. It's not any different in Hisoutensoku, but the problem is that you can tech roll. If you tech roll,
right, you can tech roll. Okay.
You can tech roll. You cannot just do simple Oki. You have to take into account the tech roll. Differently from other games, in Hisoutensoku, you cannot stop the tech roll. If you are tech rolling, there is nothing I can do to actually hit you. You are completely invincible until you wake up. meaning that the only way to, you know, beat Oki, so to speak, will be to be in the spot. Oh wow. Will be to be on the spot where the opponent is and do classic basic Oki, like a meaty.
Yeah.
But I feel like people don't really seem to understand the face of the Oki where the aspect of the Oki where you can. So here's the thing, okay? Oh well, damn, that is a bit too strong. Here's the thing. When you knock down someone, what you want in truth is not Okizeme by itself. You want to keep them in the corner. Like if I have you in the corner doing pressure, right? And I get a combo. What I want from the combo is to knock you down back into a corner and I can do pressure, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So by to do that, after a knockdown, what you want to do is not, standing still and waiting for them to tech roll so then you can follow up like this. Can work, that's okay, that's okay. But
It
then
is,
you
but it doesn't push into the corner.
Exactly, I have to then follow you again.
And push me all the way to this corner.
Which is a lot of work and makes your pressure weaker because you're doing pressure in mid-screen instead of corner. But if I have you in the corner, I can just kind of do.
Yeah, that actually crossed me up.
and now we are immediately back to the corner without having to go through the entire neutral. It's true that Alice kind of gets pushed back so much from the thing that you kind of go mid-screen. So even doing this, you basically have to be pushed back.
Yeah.
But it's still really good to do
I mean,
that.
it's still closer than the other way.
And but here's the thing. Jumping back is not perfect, obviously. If you tech roll
Of
without...
course, it's not if I like. Yeah.
Exactly. But the thing is this. Doing this, and they usually, 90% of people tends to escape away from the corner. Like in whatever situation you are, like in mid-screen like this. Let's say you are... river miss. I really want an online practice mode for the game.
The weather loves you.
Let's say you are like here, kinda close to the corner, right? And
Yeah.
I do something that doesn't push you far away.
Okay.
Like this. Obviously, you're going to go behind because you don't want to stay in the corner. It will be kind of strange for you to tech into the corner. Maybe at best you will not tech at all and just kind of stand up because you expect me to do something. But 90% of the time, if someone gets knocked down close to whatever corner they are, they go backwards. They go behind you. So by simply jumping back, oh wow.
Oh.
by simply jumping back, you can push them back. Often, not all characters, this is not an all characters thing, but I noticed that by simply jumping back, you can follow up a lot of tech rolls. Obviously, you need to know the distance of your character. Some characters have a lower
You mean
jump.
the opponent's character?
Yeah, both. You need to know what's the distance of your jump, because I often do Oki by simply knocking down and then do a single high jump back. See? They get...
Dude, Cherno has the float, which means that her freaking back... Yeah.
If I do this... that's a bad button to knock you down, that's the problem.
Wait, do you play Cherno?
No, but see? The jump back usually covers almost the entire...
You can't knock me down in this weather.
I mean, yeah. But the jump back tends to cover usually the tech roll distance for the most part. It's not always, it doesn't work on all characters and on all matchups, but often jumping back seems to cover a far distance.
Yeah, sometimes like you have to like not jump back if they have a long tech.
Oh my god.
Oh.
See? Bam, perfect placement. It happens on a bunch of characters, not all of them, but it seems to be...
Mariko and Oku.
Yeah, Oku is kinda too slow. No, actually, Oku too, but it's just slow and floaty. But that is actually also Oku. This has to be done a bit backwards. You have to be...
Now take 2 steps back and then jump.
It doesn't work. You have to hit your point like this, so you can... raise it as a small jump.
Oh, wait, so do that, take 2 steps back and then...
No, it simply doesn't work. You just have to... do this, basically. You have to read like this. Oki is complicated when you try to do it complex, but the base of the basic sense of Okizeme will be... So, Okizeme. What is Okizeme in general? This is magical word. If you knock someone down, Okizeme is just the art. Don't take roll. It's just the art of hitting them on wake up, so you take advantage of their disadvantageous position. So good Oki, even a basic functional Oki, will be simply knocking down and then hitting the opponent to take your turn. Your turn that is yours by
default, because they're knocked down, yeah.
Because you knock down the opponent. That is your turn. And so basic functional Okizeme that you want to apply on pretty much anyone you fight is simply eating them. The only problem that the Hisoutensoku creates is this tech roll. So what you want to understand is how to follow someone.
Yeah.
And back jumping often covers a lot of distance. Pick our character. Usually the tech roll back is covered decently well by simply either normal jumping or back or high jumping back. Depends on character, depends on matchup, but usually that covers really well. So tech roll back. As you can see, I was in front of you.
Yeah.
Normal jump also can cover the distance in a certain way. Remu is really floaty, but still. See?
Ah!
You can also just sit on the opponent's position before anything happens.
You had more time because of Diamond Dust.
Because although people tend to, again, tackle behind. If you what I will advise for someone trying to learn Okizeme, or at least a better offense after a knockdown in Hisoutensoku, is to simply throw the idea that every single point you're fighting is going to tackle behind you. Worst case scenario, instead of doing Oki, the opponent is going to wake up there, but you have control of the corner, which is still pretty good. The other thing you can do, which is decent, is not neutral jumping and react on the direction they are going for.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it's not as precise as one would think, and even if
it's
you do
still,
that,
it's more precise than you misreading their or misguessing their tech. Yeah.
The other thing is that if you even correctly guess, or at least go into the direction they're going, they're probably gonna wake up. You're giving space to your opponent like this. You're not guessing. So by not guessing, the opponent is gonna basically wake up on behind you probably. So by doing this, I'm just not reacting. That's the problem. It's really hard to react.
Maybe. It's not that hard
you can do this. You can basically do this.
Yeah. It's just.
Which is something people do, but yeah, no, it's I
guess.
Try.
1 second, wait.
Yeah, go ahead. I guess for a reason, honestly.
What knocks down this?
Yeah. No, it's absolutely doable. It is one of the tricks that people use to do good Oki. But as you can see, it gets finicky. Yeah. I personally prefer to guess.
I'm just used to Alice doing it, so yeah. Since Alice has the 4-5-8,
you just follow up. The thing is that even by doing that, you're still having the opponent get out of the corner. Like the general idea here that we want to understand here is that if you knock down someone, you want to keep them in the corner and not able to escape. Because if you do that, then yeah, they escape and you gain barely anything from Yoki. You just, especially because if we go by how defense works, do some pressure on me, on mid screen.
From here?
Whatever, just from here.
I mean, pressure.
Even up close. I just get so much space to work with, Even in mid screen. Okay, chill. Even in mid screen, we start from here.
Yeah.
There's no need to do 4-5-8. Do it like normally, as in like this.
That is normal.
I mean, just do it up close, man. Oh, that was supposed to be a high jump back.
Alright,
I get to work with a lot of space, something that in corner does not happen. If you do the same in the corner and I try to high jump, it is a bit easier to do.
Yeah.
Depends on, do it up close,
Oh, up close? Alright.
Like I have to first jump up. I can jump. I can jump up forward. That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you do like Oki by jumping back, as we said, Alice will be kind of like here. And even if I wake up here, throw me down. Then I'll take. Then do the back jump. You still have pretty good control of the corner. Obviously, you need to be fast and you need to act fast, but it's still really good control of the corner. So I will say that the base to start your Oki will be to always think that your opponent is gonna tech roll back. So you can easily do that.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Which is really good. It works with technically all characters, but again, some are more floaty than others, meaning that you don't gain as much advantage with some of them. Like Oyomu has probably the best jump arc in the game, where you just kind of do this, and it's short but fast enough, so you can hit so many people with it. But even a floaty one like Reimu is still quite functional.
Oh my god, I'm getting crossed up.
It kind of works like a it kind of works like an auto cross up. Depends on distance. Oh my god, I'm bad. But the basic idea is that you want to work with the idea that your opponent is always gonna tech roll back, tech roll away from the corner. After that, Okizeme can be whatever you want, because if you know where the opponent is gonna tech roll by guessing, you can set up things. For example, oh my god,
Oh, my bad.
oh my god, it's a problem I have.
I'm gonna check out, okay? Alright.
Well, that's kind of sad.
Pick a character that you can Oki with. Pick Yomu.
I mean, yeah, but Yomu skins, I do unique Yomu specific Oki.
Well, then don't do Yomu specific Oki. Do general.
There's no
This, I mean, high jump 7 J5A is general.
The thing is that, okay, no, wait, I'm doing stupid stuff here.
Monsoon gave you 2 seconds longer to react.
I'm feeling stupid right now because I don't know what Reimu could do. Like, Yomu can do J2B, J5B to set up bullets, you know?
I mean, you also know how to play Suika too.
Ideally, I could do this. So if I no, I think the only thing you can do as Reimu to set up something on Oki is just mini. I cannot find anything. B, C, to C, B to C. You could do J to C technically. Oh,
Diamond Dust.
like, you can do this, or use and then re-jump in. That's the thing you can do. But at that point, you just cannot do a melee, and it's fine. The thing is that Reimu has kind of weaker pressure. But Okizeme, when you know where the point is landing, you can do a bunch of things. You can do Fuzzy, I think. No, Fuzzy as in from the Oki.
Oh. Oh right, my bad.
Yeah.
I mean, which way do I tech? Tell me.
You know what? I'll just kind of.
Yeah, just pick a character that you know how to do stuff with at this point.
Again, it's kind of Yumo specific at that point, bro. Like if I knock you down, for example. That's one. If I knock you down, I can do a cross up. That's a thing you can do. But by delaying the jump, if you are at the right spot, you can actually create a cross up. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
You can do
there
that. You can do that. As Yumu, you can also create that cross up, but that's a Yumu specific. The general idea is that if you know the position of your opponent, whatever your character can do, you can set up proper Okizeme. Because usually in fighting games, don't tackle, you set up Oki based by doing things that your character can do, like unique things. And in this case, as I'm repeating for a third time, the only difference that is present in Hisoutensoku is that the opponent can tackle. Once you know where they are going, or you're guessing where they're going, you can set up the typical Okizeme you will set up in any other fighting game, which is follow up, button, or whatever. So basically, advice before moving on to another part of offense. When you're doing Oki, start with the assumption that your opponent is gonna tech roll away from the corner, so you can take that idea and just start actual Okizeme. Worst case scenario, you just have your opponent in the corner and you just have to play corner control, which is not bad. If you can do that, it's still good. As long as your opponent is in a disadvantageous position, that is really good. You don't want your opponent to go back to neutral where he has so much space to work with. That is one side of offense, which is Okizeme, something that I feel like people never know. Being minus an Oki is calculated. Vault, please. Yes, sec.
Alright.
Okay. PC Vault is posting some good stuff.
Where?
On the server.
Oh, I thought you made it in Twitch chat.
No. Then there is no one in the Twitch chat. There are people watching, but no one's talking. So that's the most important thing about offense, that if you ask me, Okizeme, because if you knock down the opponent either from a combo or whatever you decide to do, it's important to follow up. Either by even if some situations, and this is an actual thing that can happen, if you do a combo that ends with bad Okizeme time, as you can see, you might still lose the opportunity to have the opponent actually oh my god, why am I bad? I cannot jump back for some reason. See? So certain situations, which is important to take into account. Certain situations, more specific, certain combo enders makes it so that you have less time to do proper Okizeme, and because of that makes it really hard to. Hey, I don't play. I sometimes play them. So even knowing what kind of combo you're doing is important. Usually air combos jump a bit. Usually air combos, I need you to jump, Fahim.
Jump, alright.
Oh, Typhoon. Usually air combos give you enough time to set up Okizeme because the point
Yeah, so and also like not only air combos.
I think you got cut out again.
Air combos, also air combos ending.
Oh yeah, even
that and then combos.
Oh yeah,
that
I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can.
And then let's. Yeah.
Finishing with an air hit. It's why is I don't have rim combos.
I mean, like alright. So was that air hit? That was from the ground. Like I mean.
Yeah, if you do an air combo, usually the opponent has to fall down, which gives you time to guess the tackle.
Bruh.
I swear I know some. Wow.
Pick Yomu.
No.
Pick Yomu.
I swear.
Yes.
No. I played some Remu. I should have the combos like a basic stuff. Wasn't this? Okay. So here I have enough time. Okay, I scrapped the Oki, but the idea is there.
It's fine.
The idea is there.
We get it. Yeah.
You basically have enough time to actually set up that, depending on the combo you do, obviously. So combos like this I'm doing here. If he worked, 6-3 is not a good ender because it doesn't give you time to complete to do Oki. In fact, actually, if I were to pick Yomu, similarly, if you end combos into Rekka, you actually have mad time to actually do Oki. But Yomu is really fast, so that's not that much of a problem. But still, ending a combo into Rekka makes the Oki time minimum, as you can see. It's perfect here. I can literally jump. What is that? I can literally do full Rekka. And press A on the after full down, and that's a perfect meaty, by the way. That's an example. But if I were to finish a combo with the classic, because you're in the air, I get extra time to actually do to properly set myself. The thing about setting yourself up is that if you do the jump back, okay, on certain characters obviously you miss, so it's good to just hop, you know, and even walking backwards can still be good, like that. this kind of Oki is
I
super,
have no HP.
this kind of Oki is super important on in this game because you don't want the opponent to ever escape the corner. It is the not milestone, cornerstone. What's the name of the thing?
Foundation.
Foundation also, yeah, the foundation of good offense and good pressure. Because pressure doesn't end the moment the opponent board escapes. Pressure is still chasing them down or even knocking cornerstone. There you go. It's even just the follow up after the pressure. Because if you do pressure and then you don't follow up on the opponent and continue the pressure, then it doesn't matter. You need to be able to keep the pressure going. That way you can actually do big damage. And moving that back into the corner is probably the most important thing. Oops, got too excited.
What are you doing?
Got too excited about pressure. So
Yeah,
that's one part of the offense, which is Okizeme. That's not the only thing I want to talk about, but I really want to talk about Okizeme because I see people just.
Oki is fun.
Oki is important. I keep
Hard,
seeing people
fun.
hard and fun. I keep seeing people just not fall, winning the opponent. And sometimes that's bad. 90% of the time, people just tech behind you, or out of the corner. Just follow them. Just be there before they reach the spot, because they are going to be there. And if they are not, take the corner pressure. Take the corner control. That said, good pressure. That is also part of offense. I can still discuss about that even when I explain defense because it won't make sense. But the short version of it, when I explain defense, I explained that block. I explained that pressure is basically like made in steps, where I need you to block. Where at a certain point you are kind of forced to do a certain button. As Remu, after I reach this, I either complete dial, stagger, or do a bullet. But if you try to chicken block, stagger doesn't work. Bullets can actually beat it, but depends on the bullet you're using. See? And high jumping beats pretty much any bullet you do that isn't tight. The high jump.
Oh.
So at a certain point you're forced to do a certain action. Like here, either dial to stop the jumps, or keep pressure going. So the only thing that stops the opponent from jumping away or chicken blocking or just moving out is the fact that I continue the pressure by doing a full dial. So using this button is pretty committed. There's a lot of committed at reaching this part of the dial. Similarly, Remu, especially, 2A gets the same treatment. The only option you have left from 2A is a command normal. And there isn't even much mix up for her because it's all high. That's a high, and that's a high too. So if your opponent has good defense by blocking low, high from far away, etc., the flowchart I explained before, then you cannot just go, that's a high, always a high, that is always a high. That means that you have to take into consideration what you're doing in terms of those steps. The strongest step is the first one, jab. The scale of cancels, the best one is the one that has all the cancels at your disposal, such as jab. This one is still good because you can cancel in dial, which is a still melee attack. But if you stagger, you can reset, which is still really good. But far is similar to the far to the third hit of dial. It's basically a far button. The only thing that remains is a cancel. So when you're doing offense, you need to understand that pressure has to be considered in those steps. If you reach a certain step, you are clearly committed. And from that commitment, you have to read the opponent. Obviously, some people are going to overblock. There are some people that overblock, and you can do a lot of funky stuff, like this.
Help!
But in truth, just escape. I know you can escape this, so... That's one way. Try to escape without using meter, because it's doable. So for example here, if you want to commit to a tight bullet, like this, or this, The only way to stop someone from 16 or high jumping.
Ow.
And chicken blocking, I think, works here. My bad. You can chicken block the G6A, I think, actually. So basically, defense is strong. It's really strong. So you need good offense that keeps the opponent sitting down on the ground where you have the advantage. The moment he starts to jump, you have less power, let's say, because air pressure is not as good, and it can easily fly away. Again, what you need to understand is that if you push a certain button, you're forcing a certain situation, and that situation can be good or bad. In this case, doing this implies that my next move is either a melee or a bullet. But if I do the bullet, then that is still kind of a 50-50, but the opponent can just chicken block, and he beats pretty much everything. If you chicken block there, you just beat everything I have. AA, if you were to just wait and block, the J6A can be board escaped upwards. And if you don't block, the next move you can do is just high jump, like high jump, and then a high attack, you know? So even if you do bam, 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 there's no mix-up. By the time the opponent, by the time you do the J5A, the opponent has almost recovered the orb
you took away.
Yeah, you took away from him. And if they block correctly, bam, 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 and suddenly they're recovering. So offense has to be varied. Varied? Varied, that's the word.
Has to be what? Varied.
Varied, thank you. Varied,
Yeah.
and it has to be constant. It has to be a flow. I explained that in defense, but I re-explained that in offense. To have good pressure, you need to have a mix of projectile that keeps the pressure going, but also run blocks that keep damaging the opponent. It is hard to do with certain characters, but I've noticed that pretty much anyone, to one way or another, can keep this frame advantage, this flow going. For example, Rainbow 5C is perfect. Let's say they respect the stagger from the button from here, which is good. You can still do something like this. And that button doesn't even need to be cancelled. It's actually plus on block. So you can keep doing stuff. It's really plus, you can even walk a bit, but they're just kinda, you know. And from this, you can do this, jab, and suddenly it got crushed. Obviously there's a lot of overblocking there, and it was not necessary. But like this, oops, I could have done the 2B there, and then J6A to force a certain situation, you know. Like, let me do again. So, use orbs, more frames, tight, and there we go. If you try to jump there out of fear of game getting broken, it would have got hit. And what I used was jab, well, pseudo jab. It's more akin to almost a far, but you can still cancel, so it's basically a far, yeah. So pseudo jab plus frames of the 5C. Again, mixed up because at this distance you can actually, yeah, do a far. So there is a 50-50 between 2A again or not. So bam, 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 tight. And suddenly he has no orbs. Let me see if I have a skill card. Can you use a aspect card?
No, I don't have meter.
Wow, nothing. Do we not have meter? So here, for example, I have this one, super strong, even too strong. So I'm going to use, no, the weaker one. I'll do a string. So bam, 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 bam. Yeah, that wasn't great, but that helps pressure though. Also, I think you can do bam, 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 bam. Oh wow, that's bad. If you know your distance, you can totally do this. You mix up those situations, those steps. You need to be able to control those escape points. Pressure is made in defense by finding the escape point. And when doing offense, you need to find that escape point and close it. Some time to close it, because I think here is where people get lost. So block this 6A. So one of the ideas is that you can board escape that one, right? So board escape that one.
Ah!
I could do that, That's a thing I can do. That's a melee attack that will stop any kind of jump. Well, not all. If you try to chicken block after 6A, I think you block this. If I delay too much. Yeah. But if I do it earlier, yeah, you get hit.
Yeah,
but that's so much commitment for Rainbow. It's just not great.
Like, most people will be blocking and they won't realize it.
Yeah. So 6A, yeah. So 6A it's the weakest point. You have reached the end of your pressure. You can do this.
Can Reimu cancel 6A into... Yeah,
in tight stuff even. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the command normals are the best escape point in pressure. If you border escape that, the only thing that stops you is a melee.
Can you like can you do like does Reimu have empty cancels like she does like she
empty cancels such as
like a
that is not an empty cancel, that's a bullet cancel, my guy.
Alright, my bad. Like I keep saying empty because
it's empty, but it's just a B or C cancel.
Yeah.
So. She can do that, but
combos,
she can do that. But if she does this, like the cancel time is what it is, and it is tight. But if you border escape this one, you just can escape, and I have to do like a chase. That was a better border escape, by the way. You border escape the bullets. There we go. That was good. So the weakest point is 6A. So when you're doing pressure, the moment you go into that, you're kind of calling it quits. Now, obviously, not everyone is going to border escape perfectly that, but some people are searching for that escape point. So as I was explaining, many people think that you need to close that gap by doing stuff like that, but you need the melee skill to be able to stop. So a character like Raisin, by this logic, will be really weak. But she's not. Reality is that you can either not, you can just not do the command normal, or you can actually get a wrong block, which stops the. That is not border escapable. So you have two options. Either you don't go.
Oh, it's a wrong block. Yeah.
Yeah. So you either just don't use the command normal and just use less harder to border escape or harder to escape.
Typhoon.
Oh, so you either use harder to use buttons, harder to escape buttons that make pressure less. There's 1, 2, 3. So instead of being pam 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 pam, it's like pam 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 pam. You know, it makes it harder. You go backwards and then you start. The moment you reach the far, you're already in a bad spot because you kinda have to either stagger or cancel. Luckily, you can cancel into good stuff like this. So, for example, that isn't tight. You can jump away. Jump away. Oh.
I jump or like actual jump?
Is that tight?
Yeah.
I jump.
Oh wait.
That should be tight. Yeah, there we go.
Alright.
But you can easily beat that. There we go. Or 3A, which is safer for Razor. There we go. So now the opponent is like in this position where he's like, okay, from this there might a melee attack might happen, which doesn't have that much commitment still. So you can easily do stuff that is not tight. Oh, you just blocked. Which is not tight, but can give you help. For example, Raisin 236. It's plus on block. So you can reset your pressure and continue. And if you try to border escape the bullet, which is something they can do, you can check them by using J6A. Pressure for all characters tends to be like this, where you just don't do the thing the opponent wants. But at a certain point, you have to use it because you need it. You need to do it.
You need to mix it up, otherwise it'll
exactly.
Yeah.
Sunika is a great example of this. She's a great neutral character and offensive character, at least when it comes to damage. But she has awful offense, even when you, at least when it comes to pressure. Because even if you have 5 Oni, you get 1 extra mix-up, which is doing J6A. Everything you do doesn't stop high jumps. You can chicken block all of this. The only thing that you cannot chicken block if I do this is this. Oh wow, yeah, you can even chicken block that actually.
Maybe not too.
You need to do it perfectly, otherwise it doesn't stop the opponent from... See?
Wait, who perfectly? You or me?
Huh?
Who does it do perfectly? You or me?
No, you can just all the jump, all the chicken block. You jump perfectly. I have to. There we go. I need to perfectly input a perfect rising J5A to stop your jump. But anything else I do is chicken blockable. Even something like Spectre Dance. No wait, Spectre Dance is actually chicken block this.
Try that.
Yeah, Spectre Dance is actually something you can do. But Spectre Dance kills your pressure at that point. So if you do bam,
It kills your opponent. Doesn't even matter.
but you are basically not killing your pressure. You are ending your pressure. But the truth is, oh my bad. Now you are here, which is a decent range on most characters because you can still press this or press Farfaway. It's character specific, but the idea here is that sometime you have to commit to something to stop them from moving. And let me crush it. And Suika is a perfect example of a character that has to work a lot harder than most for pressure, but she gets so much reward from just guessing right once, so that's fine. Is that single jab, block.
Okay.
Oh well, next round.
I mean, I know
She basically doesn't have a dial with a third hit stagger. Then done. The uppercut basically is the signal of the end. You can even mesh her out. Mesh me out. Like, she cannot cancel into a skill. She cannot. Only spell cards. So if you see her doing this, you can actually mesh her out unless she does this. Which is not even a cancel. She's basically just doing
this is the last hit of dial, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that you have to do it like instantly to be a frame trap. If you delay even a bit, you can mesh Suika out. So basically, what she's committing the moment she reaches the uppercut. No, she's committing the moment she reaches this. The second jab, the double jab into straight, is basically the end of her pressure, because then she has to commit to either stagger by creating fear of the uppercut, which actually closes the pressure for the most part, unless you have spell card, so you can do, and then you spell card there to make it safe, or you do, and again you stagger, like something like that. You cancel into something. Suika way to get more pressure is actually using 2-1-4. 2-1-4 is actually plus on block. Wow, what? Let's do momentum. Okay, I'm getting sad, so don't do this because it pushes you too far. But it's plus. So if you do it from here, that's +5. You stop every kind of jump. Pump, pump, pump. let me reason. So every character has needs to find a way to not go into the bad button unless they are setting up. They are trying to hit the opponent expectation. Again, bam bam, you expect something that is not tight, which is high jumpable. High jump.
Oh, high jump. Okay.
Yeah, before you get killed by cheat.
Wait, what?
You can high jump away.
Try again, yeah.
Just all. There we go. So now the expectation has been set, where you do the either jab into this or double jab into this, and so you create a situation where you can do this. Now in counter it, if the high jump gives you a combo too. Big reward for a simple mix.
Change your use it's
what?
Knock me down and use a card. Knock me down and use a card.
Why?
No, no,
I didn't knock you down.
You didn't knock me down.
Ah, my brain. you didn't see that. They just leave with Suika. I mean, yeah, from the uppercut you get a pretty strong combo actually. Actually, jump again from the uppercut. No, I jump. Sorry. Do you get that actually? I never tried. Sorry if I'm... Oh my god. Do you get that combo? Because it would be kind of insane. I think you do, but it's really hard. Oh my god. I'll try that later after I'm done with this.
Probably too much proration.
No, it does. Yeah, go ahead, Volt. That combo is like 5A, 5B max charge, and you get up like 3K. That would be insane. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that depending on the character you have less or more commitment. Suika, for example, is full of commitment because the moment you do a command normal, you have almost closed out your pressure. You have to do Spectre Dance where people respect your whatever you want to cancel into. Like if you command normal and try to high jump away, the only thing that stops you from not doing that is a tight bullet. It's uppercut, 5AA counter it, the uppercut in counter it, then you do 5AA, 5B charge. The rest is just a higher combo.
Ow.
So basically, Suika, for example, has to do like this and stagger a lot. But the moment she throws a bullet, anything she does is not great because you can chicken block everything, or you can just block it and then escape. Yes, exactly it's that. Even almost all bullets she has don't do well in pressure. Like this one is not a bullet that you can high jump, you can still cancel and it's a melee, which helps Suika a lot. You can do this into that, which is safer than doing uppercut. But you get pushed back a lot, and from Spectre Dance now doesn't hit anymore the melee part, I believe. So now if they high jump, you can actually escape that one. Try to like jump after the 2B. See? So Suika has to commit a lot in almost everything she does because she doesn't have a dial stagger button.
So
basically.
who doesn't have to commit?
Everyone has to commit, but you have to know where that line lies. Suika,
Well, say who has to commit at least.
I feel like Yomu has a mix of no commitment and a lot of commitment. It's strange. The problem is this, like, all characters have the same model of pressure. If you do a command normal, you're committing. Sure, you can do a tight bullet, but if they both escape the command normal, doesn't matter. Meaning that command normal is weak on everyone. And even if you have a melee skill, in Mino, if you do perfectly, it doesn't work. And board escaping basically beats heavily command normal. So you kinda double sana, okay. So you kinda have to find the perfect way to cheat the opponent, because if you follow the strings by 1, 2, 3, it doesn't do much. Suika, for example, gains a lot from using jabs and then canceling into something that keeps the pressure going. Pressure should be able to crush someone, or at least scare them enough that they want to escape by creating this idea of crush. So for example, Suika could do 1 block, +5, then you get another mix-up. That is actually not jumpable for certain characters, and to be charged on the 3A ROM block is actually a true frame trap on some characters, not everyone. Alice can actually jump away. No, jump away, I believe Alice can do it.
Wrong block or right block?
It has to be ROM block, otherwise it doesn't... See? Unless... There you go.
Ah.
It works on distance, because of the hitbox, basically. But it's kinda wonky. So basically, pressure has to flow like button. Frame advantage that gives you somewhat pressure, like extra frames to continue pressure, and keep...
Oh, it does work on Alice game case.
Okay, it works. I'm just being bad then. I personally on Suika, I tend to use MPP just because I kinda want that. Suika pressure is actually... I'll take one moment to off-topic this, but Suika pressure is better on the air, air to ground than ground to air. Because
I mean, isn't that everyone to some extent?
Not actually, because she can do basically this kind of stuff.
Like also, what does pressure being better mean? Like, does it mean that you do?
You actually get to do something like this, which is pretty helpful. Because this one is also decent. For example, you can do, if done correctly, this is actually safe, makes Spectre Dance up close safe. A lot of the Suika pressure comes from 2C into being able to jump forward and set up certain things. For example, 6B like this, which makes it plus by land cancelling and stealing orbs. See? Now 2 orbs are gone. Bam, 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 bam. And if I had a spell card, I will do more damage. So you have to find a way to keep the opponent in a guessing state while you flow the pressure. It's really hard to explain, I know.
I get it, it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's easier to explain character by character basis. For example, Yukari.
Just do Yomu.
Yomu doesn't... I made a video about that, you can watch that one.
Alright, fine. I thought since you know Yomu the best, you...
No, it doesn't help because Yomu is kinda wild. She can do 5B and that's Plasma Block. Like, pop, pop, Plasma Block, pop, pop. So Yukari doesn't, for example. This one isn't plus, I believe.
Doesn't even hit.
I don't think that... Yeah, that's not plus.
This is not plus.
So she doesn't do that, but she can do like... That is plus even on right block. So basically, you need to find a way to flow your pressure by giving you frame advantage and keeping guess going. Bam, 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 bam. Oh my god. Wow, you really don't want to block. There you go. Plus 3 on roam block. There we go. Yeah. But for example, no. If you were to absorb bullets, for example, throw me some bullets.
Go.
Some bullets.
What the fuck?
Again?
What?
I don't think it's absolute. So, for example, if you were to use the skill card, you could do something like this. Oh, my bad. Let me do again. For example, that is plus, gives you frame advantage, and you can damage your opponent's speed, which is really good. Or Yukari can do bam bam into, I believe, this. And that's plus and block. You know? You need to find a way to flow, and each character does it differently. Some characters have to commit more, some characters can literally just do the same thing over and over. And sometimes...
2A.
Like, I've seen also people though don't take advantage of the possibilities of a character, because yes, Tenshi can simply do 1, 2, 3 into this, which is tight, and it's basically gives you a high jump, like this. But you can also take advantage of what you can do as Tenshi more, you know? Basically.
That is so much.
Characters have all different ways to approach pressure. You need to find a way to damage the opponent constantly on roam blocks, or the main idea is taking away orbs. Either roam blocks like that, but that might be a problem because those mix-ups are not endless and they have to end somewhere. Or you learn how to set up a situation where you can set up some bullets that can take away the opponent speed. You don't have to always steal orbs. You have to keep the orbs not regenerating, whatever you do. You know? And there are many ways to do that and to keep them in check. Mei Ling, for example, could actually steal orbs by... and force the opponent to respect the 5C stagger by either doing something like this, which is not great. That doesn't work either, but you could do that. Or safe, you can do this to keep the opponent into respecting something wild as a stagger. So you can then jump in and do maybe a land cancel. A land cancel, which will help with destroying the opponent orbs. Yeah, also keeping them in corner in general is good for offense, which is why I reset. For example, when I hit someone, let's say I crush them, because orbs are so important for the game, both using bullets or skills or movement, I often just kinda reset to keep them in corner, because again, we talk about how Okizeme, let me knock you down and tech roll. we talk about knocking down doesn't give you the same reward as other fighting games where you knock them down. Thank you, Rose. It's my chill playlist. It's knocking them down gives you doesn't give you typical Oki where you just follow them up and press buttons on their face. So you have to read them on where they're going so you can actually do something. Which is why this is going to be a personal take. Which is why when I hit the opponent on a crush or hit them into the corner, at times instead of taking the knockdown, I just reset because now they have one orb less from the crush, and I don't give the time to them to even recover that orb. I just do it again. Just go in. Let me crush.
Oh, crush. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Crush me again. It's River Mist.
you know, mostly because on it you have a bunch of frame advantages really good. So something like this, for example, where you do pump, 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 and then re-jump in doing something fancy. That are some good frame advantage that you could take into account. There we go. Like, you don't have to always go for this crazy stuff. Even just look at that. I know that that skill is kind of wonky which desync games, so it seems, but it's really good for melee.
Well, it doesn't desync offline.
Doesn't. Like, look at this. You roam block. You basically hit them a bit with. Let me do a basic. Oh, let me do a jump in. So.
Do I block?
Yeah. And suddenly you're crushed. I used a step 1 scale power of 1, the jab, to do pressure. They used an R2C move that does speed damage to crush you. That's a high block.
I thought that would actually continue.
No, it doesn't. Many characters have this kind of thing where you just there are bullets that are really good. I know stickers will be angry about this, but I believe 5-6 charge is a thing.
I think it is too. They can only take it.
Boom! It's hilarious, and you can actually.
It's good because if they catch their BE.
You basically have to check you have to check if they are sleeping on the wheel.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I've done it. I mean, like it's a the charge 5C.
But there are other ways that you can. That's not plus at all.
Charge. Do charge B.
No, charge B either is not. Wait, is that?
Yeah, I know.
Is that plus?
Wait, yeah.
Is that plus? Whoa, is
Yeah,
that plus?
You didn't know that? I mean, I found that.
You see, that is also good. Like, you do jab. Look at how many orbs you steal, and if they do nothing about that, you're still plus. Okay, I need to do jab. That's the problem. That's insane. See, I'm super strong, and I don't see people do this kind of pressure. They often do 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2, 3, bump, bump, bump. It's not bad, but you need to mix it up by doing this kind of pressure that takes people by surprise and keeps.
This is like the kind of pressure that. How do they say it? It encourages the opponent to disrespect your pressure.
Which is good because then you can punish that disrespect.
Yeah,
and
it's like
kick their ass.
Your pressure makes me want to just smash.
Yeah, and they kick your ass every time because you do that. You down.
No. I mean, I'm not quoting.
You're definitely quoting a real situation because here's the thing.
I'm not talking about your pressure. I'm actually in general.
Yeah. I'm talking. Let me get a phosphoric left because this is basically an idea that I learned from playing Yomu because Yomu. A lot of people in the past just told
use clones to build a meter faster. You can't do.
No, that's only 5 cards.
There you go.
So people in the past told you to just do bada bing bada 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 boom, command normal, then you do the tight bullet, which is phosphoric slash, and from that you can actually set up that with AG6A, which is +1, and it keeps your pressure going, which is it's a thing. You can do that. The problem is that you don't really damage your point much because if you were to do just dial, phosphoric slash only steals 0.5. And if you were to get a ROM lock and you were crazy enough to do the C version, you steal 2 orbs, which is a lot, but it's still not great. Because that was the ROM block being good. You could get a similar effect by doing the V version. Okay? But Yomu, in truth, let me crash you, yeah. 1, 2. But in truth, Yomu doesn't need to do that. If you go backwards, if you stay on the no commitment side, you cancel into stuff that instead is not going to ever work on command normals, because that from there you are kind of forced to do either bullet or skill. So people kind of don't even react. They just I jump away from this often. And even if you make them respect this by using the 2-1-4, people still tend to I jump this. So doing this can work, but is not as good as that. Because from here, I might do that, or I might just stagger more, which is plus on block, that one. Or I can do this, which is plus on block and deal speed damage, giving me plus frames and more pressure that I can work with. And depending on the situation I have, I can do something like that. Obviously, I'm more accustomed to Yomu, so it's easier for me to set up in thing like this, because I know the frame data, what I'm doing, where I'm going with this. The classic one is just taking frame advantage and then stealing orbs like that. But a lot of characters can actually do it to a degree, where they just don't go for the seeable button, the easy to read button, which is usually command normal. They just stay on the jabs or far button type like this, or yeah, those ones, or the single jab that some characters have like Marisa. And you get something going, like you get something really good. For example, Sakuya has really 1-2-3 type of pressure, and that makes it really easy to read. Like this is gonna be high, and even in the case, and then after that, it's gonna be high again. And after the high, you just block low, because even if you block incorrectly, the 3A is punch. Yeah, Alice is unlucky, but otherwise, Alice is unlucky. But normally she does this, and it doesn't matter. Right? She does this, you read it. You don't even read it, you just go for it. You can just fuzzy guard the Farfave even. It's kinda easy. So Sakuya needs to do something fancy to keep the opponent in check, and one of the things that keeps the opponent in check with Sakuya is something like that. If you block this, you cannot jump away, I believe. Like, try to chicken block after this. There we go.
She does the kick, the one where she kicks down.
That's more to check you on. Yeah, that's heavy commitment, would prefer to avoid.
Alright.
So for example, Sakuya could just kinda bam, 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 you know? You start doing stuff that is a bit more strange, and follow up like this. Sakuya doesn't really have a plus projectile, I don't believe so. So she doesn't get to try mashing this. Yeah, that's not either. And 60, I doubt. Yeah, they are on safe, so she doesn't get to do that, but she can do it on stuff like that. So you can, instead of doing bam, 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 yeah, there we go, you block perfectly. You can start doing something.
That's where you do.
They do, everyone does this. Bam, bam, and then either J2A or...
And then J2A, they do J2A 623 to catch escapes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the common thing, but being able to do like something like that, for example, bam, we stagger, and then suddenly it can work, because you're basically working on the expectation of your opponent and subverting them.
Subverting expectations.
That is what I always say when it comes to pressure. The thing is that it's easier to talk about pressure by case scenario. Like, take Remilia. It's like, how do I do pressure with Remilia? There are many meme ways to do pressure with Remilia, but one of the...
I mean, as we saw in DC.
Yeah, QD was doing some amazing work.
Yeah.
But one of the easiest one is that you can literally jab into 5C, and that is mega plus. And it steals orbs, obviously. So you do this, and suddenly the opponent is losing one orb. You can go from mix-up, that's plus, and again... Oh... like... Certain characters have an easier time flowing their pressure, obviously. but everyone can flow it. You just need to understand how. I believe that Yuka, for example, which doesn't have no, Yuka doesn't have great pressure, but
Are you sure? Yuriko has a present pressure.
like this one, for example,
Yeah.
and it's plasma block. And you can just bam, bam, Ailemao. Look at how many orbs you lost from a single ROM block. Bam, bam, bam.
Bruh.
This is not a meme string. Like doing a single jab into
Yeah.
5B is a thing. As long as, at worst, they board escape the bullets. But because they board escape the bullet, throw me some bullets.
You can hit them.
No, you can chase them easy because board escape from bullets gives you time. You can cancel that anytime you want. So chasing is quite easy. You can do many ways to chase an opponent, and you don't even need to high jump. Different characters have different ways to flow their pressure, but you can totally do with everyone this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I will say that everyone has a plus button somewhere, basically, you know?
Yeah.
And you can restart. Sometimes you have to do it from the air, so you have to do pressure, then stagger by jumping into maybe a bullet in the air. So I guess Patchouli may be able to do that.
Do what?
That. Stagger and then jump
Oh.
into a bullet, because I think...
Probably. Yeah. I mean, she can do anything.
Because here's the thing that I don't think people understand. The air bullet is stronger than the ground one. Because the ground one can let you do J5A, that's true. It's not like it doesn't let you do that. And you can also do J6A and all that. But the thing is, if you do it from the air, your J5A is now going on the ground, which gives you more pressure. And stops stuff from happening, so like... You know? And that's
Yeah,
a strong way to stagger, because instead of you do the stagger button, don't set up strong pressure and go in. Obviously, this is kind of not true, because G2B in this case is not. You can jump, you can chicken block from this, I believe. Try to chicken block away from this. Yeah, but you can also, I think, do that. No, you really cannot. G2C does that, that is not good. 5B doesn't. Well, I'm sure Patchouli has a way to... I don't know
She
the
does,
I don't know the buttons, but I'm sure she has some... Is that
A way
plus?
to do what?
that-
Do what?
Wait, is that plus? Like this one? Give me the pressure.
Do it again.
Mash? Yeah, no, it's not. That one is also a plus.
Oh.
Well, technically you can... That's a
well, I
snipping...
mean, that's just how it is.
That's a snipping on the wheel technique. Yeah. Again, I'm talking about characters I don't play at all, but I know
Pick
that
one
everyone...
that you play.
It doesn't matter. I know that everyone can flow, and I'm trying to explain this idea of staying on the smaller buttons while keeping pressure going. It's a thing that I think it's really important to understand, because again, people, whatever character they decide to pick, they always go 1, 2, 3 finisher, and that 1, 2, 3 finisher high jump, it's an option. But if you always take that option, it's going to make you weaker on the offense, on the pressure side. Let me show you what I mean, because I know you know, but I want to explain better this. The 1, 2, 3 idea is that if you do this, for example, you have to do this, and then and only then you can cancel something. Reality is that you can cancel that from any spot, which means that you can create situations such as this.
Ah.
Which are, yeah, it's funny. I know it probably won't work against someone that is not that is not sleeping on the wheel.
Yeah.
But hey, that works. So the idea is that 1, 2, 3 makes it also easier to read, because if you do 2A, 3A, everyone's going to block it after a while, because everyone knows that after 2A, Marisa is going to do a 3A, because 6A is not great. Even on ROM block, it's just kind of not amazing. Block low. And now you can high jump away from pretty much everything that Marisa has outside of this, which has high commitment. But everything else she does, you can jump away from. I jump away. That's tight actually.
I was tight.
But you don't really get to do much unless you commit again. So this.
Haze.
Yeah, Ace. So the idea is that you learn to abuse your weaker buttons into important cancels. Is that like going to do... Look this? That doesn't work, right? The thing is that
No,
many
I don't think
situations
so.
you can probably set up stuff like that if they
Yeah.
mesh. You have basically a situation where it's kind of obnoxious to just stand still. Bam, bam. If you respect this because you expect that, which is a thing that can happen, and because of the high speed recovery, suddenly you can do more mix-ups.
Yeah.
The thing is that I'm explaining defense from the other side. This is literally the same as the defense side, the defense guide, but on the river, basically. I'm explaining how pressure comes to be and what is the pressure. Like fuzzy guarding is something that all characters can do to a degree, and it's really good because J5A checks so many things. And don't be afraid to use funny options like this. It's true that
Just nothing.
it's true that I get angry about seeing bad stuff from players. That's true. But there is a difference from exploring things and options from doing like this. Oh, wait. And then that. And then that. Like some people get frame advantage or whatever and they jump back. Why? The pressure is yours. Take it.
Because they expected some DP or mashers.
How it's Plasma block. Okay, yeah,
They
that's...
expect that. That's what
Okay,
they
that is plasma block, but if I press for 5A, I think I lose. Okay, no, it works if I get
Fine.
further. If I get further, I think I just win straight up, yeah. Look at this! It gets really good on a small distance, like it gets Mega Plus. That's so good! But yeah, no, different characters have different ways to to layer the pressure. Just try to explore this side of the not 1, 2, 3. Break your strings. You know where to break them. Obviously, you cannot do. You can technically do 6A 6A, but you need to give up an opponent. We need to be able to know what the opponent. What your options are. Because if you do like
you every time in pressure you press a button, you have to realize what can the opponent
do about it. Yeah, the next
after
one.
like once they've blocked it, what are they gonna do? And then you have to decide for yourself, what should I do?
Like you can do 6A 6A. I've done before 3A 3A, but the only reason
like
why
so for example, like you just hit a command normal,
the only reason why I get that type
Yeah.
of respect is that from my 3A I might be I can do Rekka, which stops I jumps and normal jumps and mesh. So
Yeah,
people are
it's
like,
the melee
okay,
cancel,
3A, yeah, 3A, okay, I will do nothing, and then I do 3A again. That's I get skill, I get a skill like that, but Raisin doesn't get that, so she has to work around that concept by
Really?
She doesn't have a melee skill anywhere.
Yeah, she doesn't need one though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. She cannot do what
Everyone else can.
what
except
Yomu does, for example. But she can
Yeah.
do like Rom block 236, 3 Rom block 236, which is tight, and then reset.
One block.
Oops, and then reset. Hey, oh my God, what's up with me?
It's still tight.
Oh,
That's still tight.
there we go. It's tight.
Yeah.
And if the player expects that explosion, so they're going to block more, you can actually just reset from
Yeah.
3A straight up.
Yeah. Oops.
You can even do 3A because you are madmen. Like, as long as the opponent has a certain type of respect, you can do certain things, but you need to know how to make them flow. You cannot just
Yeah.
do 1, 2, 3 and expect the opponent to respect forever. You need to actually understand why the opponent is picking an option and if he can actually do it and if there is a way for you to stop them. And if there is not, you need to trace back where you can stop that, where you can close that escape point. And sometimes, as I said before, to close an escape point, the only way to do that is to never reach it in the first place. Because Raisin, if you block 3A, you escape. You can just block that one, but escape, and she has to choose.
Actually, wait. So close. So I can right block
You can right block 3A, and then you can board escape, and I cannot do anything about that. I genuinely cannot.
Yeah,
I can only chase. No, that was bad. That's bad again.
Ah.
And if you do B1, you can actually punish me. Do B1, J5A. No, that was low, and I used the wrong button.
What?
Be a bit faster. Low.
I'm mashing A. I'm literally here.
Brew. That was, crouch and mash D.
Pressing A, see? I told you.
Okay, I guess the cancel is too fast.
Yeah.
But that's a thing that you can still do actually in certain scenarios.
Maybe it's a character specific thing.
It depends on how to react, because sometimes I'm not reacting, I'm just doing 2-3-6 high jump. But if I were to react, I will take enough time that your B1 will work. Do it again, I try to react. Wow, okay,
no.
Whatever. Point is, if you board escape from 3A, I have to chase. That's a reality. That's a thing I have to do. Which
Where are you?
why I cannot get 2-3-6? What is this? Block low and board escape.
Oh.
Oof. Why? What is going on?
Okay, there you go.
And I can chase, but chasing is not the optimal solution. Not solution. It's not the optimal case I want, because now I have to chase and the opponent is in the air and air pressure is not optimal. Meaning that what I want to do is to avoid the escape point, but because I cannot stop someone from jumping away if I right block the 3A, I either get a wrong block, so I mix it up by doing high attacks, and then getting a wrong block, which is decent, and I can actually work with it, or I simply never use 3A and I do other things that can work. Raisin has access to two things that actually plus and block. That one is plus and block, and that one is plus and block. Both can be used from simply jabs, and they keep you let you do more pressure. And if you board escape a bullet, you can easily chase them, easier than a board escape command normal, which is the problem.
Yeah.
Board escaping a command normal makes it harder to chase, while board escaping a projectile is actually easier to chase down. As you can react pretty much any frame that isn't the startup. So it's pretty strong. Different characters have different way to do pressure, but the core idea is the same. Try to find a way to keep your pressure flowing and breaking their orb. Stay as much as possible plus, while also damaging their orbs. And if you cannot stay plus, find a way to put them into frame traps that they don't want to take. The 214 is super plus. 236 and 214, they're crazy. 214 though is super slow on startup, so it's kind of hard to use for strings, but it is doable. Try to, depending on the character you play, try to learn this idea of flowing this pressure, so you basically either put them into a situation that makes them respect you, so that gives you frame advantage, so to speak. I think the best case to showcase this is Rekka is the perfect example of what I mean. Rekka by itself is minus punish on everyone. Punishment, I block. I was blocking, you can see in the pad actually, you can actually see in the pad. I'm blocking, but that's punishment, it's minus 14 I think. The second hit is also minus. Right block, the low one. It's also my you have to do 66, yeah, exactly. There we go. I got punished. So all of them are minus, so technically they don't give me frame advantage. But because there is a follow-up on each hit instead of the third one, I can create a situation where the opponent may not want to hit buttons. So if I do this, I still get the chance of pressing more buttons because the opponent is scared of pressing buttons after.
Isn't there like a terminal point where after?
No, I can repeat repeat yourselves.
Isn't there like a terminal point where like it's?
You get cut out in the center part.
So is there a area where if I block Rekka first or second hit, and if I wait a certain number of frames, you cannot cancel?
No, I can cancel whenever I want. I can basically create always a frame trap because I can cancel instantly if I want to, and make it tight basically.
But is there like after a certain amount of frames you can't cancel?
It's basically around the end, but you see.
Yeah, so can I still hit you there?
Well, you can. Yeah, you can hit me if I take too much time to cancel, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's your own risk.
But you can also block immediately after, though.
No. It's a do or die situation against Rekka. You just cannot go for it. Either you block more or you punish me immediately. You have to guess. Which is why it's a perfect example how pressure can be made. Can also be made. I'm making you respect something that is clearly minus, but the fact that it's a follow-up scares you. Similar concept is on this. Far 5A is not a great button. It's like -2, I think, on right block of -4. So if you were to mesh after, oh my god, if you were to mesh after 5A any button you have, you will win straight up. I believe so, at least. Maybe not 5A because but let's say I do 5A from here. If you press 5A yourself, you win every single time. So the only way to have you not do this, so you can stagger more. The only way to have you not punish me every single time is to create a situation where, there we go, I put an extra layer on top. Now, suddenly, if I do it enough times, you will respect my 5A, thinking that I will do a next move. And now I can actually stagger you with a move that is clearly minus. And take advantage of that. Similarly, in concept, if you were to do something like this, and you have respect from the 6A, you can do this, which is more plus, and then you get an extra mix-up. And this one is +4, so you get to do another one, and so on and so on. Basically, you have to create a flow based on either frame data, frame advantage, or what you can cancel into what. Because even if something like this is not plus on block, obviously, but it has enough frames that if they try to high jump or chicken block away, you actually can punish them. Try to chicken block. It's kind of specifically positioned from here. Wow, that was bad. You can chicken block this more often than not. But there is a specific position that I can actually do 2-2B into EG6A, and that beats chicken block too, but it's kind of hard. If you jump though, it beats it every single time because you explode. But yeah, for example, a good example of what you can do when you don't do strings by the numbers 1, 2, 3. Yomo has access to this string, where if you do 2-2B and then EG6A and the opponent respects that, EG6A can go into JB, and JB can go into 2C, creating a tight string of 2-2B. Try to high jump after the EG6A.
After that, yeah.
That is tight, if done correctly.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, it's tight. Ain't super strong. That gives Yomo some madman pressure. Or like on ROM block 6A. That is not high jumpable, mashable, or anything. It's a true frame trap. Block again, ROM block, and try to high jump.
ROM block, alright.
And then try to jump away. It stops everything. For example, that is the power of numbers. Basically, it's all stuff I know because I actually
the power of math.
Power of math. I actually checked the numbers and how they all work, and that makes my pressure flow in a certain way where I can keep the opponent in check constantly from different situations, from ROM block, common normal, to hitting them with a bullet, to setting up a really high damaging string by using 2-2B, which is not that great, but I can even, if someone blocks 2-2B and they jump away, because they can block 2-2B and jump away.
Okay.
No,
jump away.
Jump away. And they do, like, that doesn't work, but I can still check people even up close from doing this. By doing J5A, no, jump after the, jump. I can still check people with J5A, and J5A can do in J2A. There's a lot of Yomu specific stuff, obviously, but different characters can.
I mean, each characters have their own specific things.
Yes, and you need to learn to find a way to abuse those things. I keep repeating myself. I don't know why. This entire video has been me and you just going through the same thing over and over. But I kind of want to hammer that thing down.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it takes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, what we've been saying.
Look, it's
same thing, but in ways.
Okizeme was the easiest part because it's literally when the point is knocked down, just pretend they are always going.
When the point is knocked down, go there and hit them.
Yeah, but it's more like pretend that they always back tech roll away from the corner, and that creates an automatic good Oki, so to speak. Because even if you get it wrong, they are still stuck in the corner, and from there you can start reading them. But 90% of the time, people just try to escape the corner. And if you sit on their spot and then push them back into the corner, that gives you the best advantage, basically. Because now you can send them back to the corner and punish them. Certain characters, pick Raisin. You don't even need to do that. Pick Raisin for a moment.
Where is she? Oh, okay.
Because certain characters have such a short tech roll behind. You can even just sit at the right position and follow them.
So sad.
Try to mix it up. I mean, yeah. And this is the same concept as before. The meter was incorrect. There we go. And it's the same concept. It's just that, again, if you just go for the expected jump against Raisin, you can jump back and that's it. No, tech behind. No, behind, as in behind me.
Yeah, behind. Oh, okay, alright.
A single normal jump.
Literally.
Whoop. Whoop. So knowing the distance, you can usually set up something like a high jump back, normal jump back, or just fly there. As long as you, I don't want to say to you, guess it's better, but it does help because if you just pretend the opponent is gonna be dumb and always take away, you can just actually set up good Okizeme and send that back into hell. But otherwise, if you just cannot wait for them to wake up, neutral jump, and follow them, it still works. It's still something you can do. But do that. Sometimes I see people do nothing. It's awful. It's pretty bad. And good Oki has to be achieved. It's not complex. You just guess where they're going, and 90% of the time they don't want to be in the corner. And even if you don't guess right, worst case. Let me knock you down. Worst case, you just kinda keep them in the corner. Again, I'm repeating this because I want to hammer this down.
It sounds like does Yukari have the same sound?
Kind of, yeah.
Sounds like something that Yukari has.
Before I repeat myself too much, I want to talk about one last thing because it's almost been 130. I explained on the defense how to approach someone neutrally, right? I'll repeat that myself. Yeah, it's kind of slightly different.
It sounds similar. It's not like a different pitch.
Neutrally speaking, I already explained on defense how to go around certain situations. But for example, when you see someone throwing a bullet, oh, go ahead, throw a bullet. If you dash forward 6D and they do like high jump bullet again, that usually stops them completely. Well, that was unexpected. Again?
Yeah, it's not something I normally do. Right.
You can usually, go under and do all that fancy stuff, or just reposition yourself to an advantageous point. But the double bullet is such a common thing in Hisoutensoku, and it's important to beat it by simply kind of going for it sometimes. 6D through the screen as any character, because the double bullet takes so much time to set up, they don't have the advantage. They can move away, obviously, but you have usually the advantage of some kind. So it's important to, when it comes to neutral, if you see the opponent setting up bullets, it's good to sometimes just go in. If you know that they are over-respecting, they are abusing the respect you gave them.
Mm-hmm.
Even
oh, okay.
I'll do it. Do it on me. I'll do double bullet.
All right.
You don't really have the time to do anything else. See? Go full screen. Go almost full screen, like mid range or in. No, full screen no, but like go here on the borders. Yeah, something like this. If I do nothing, you actually punish me, I believe. Doing nothing seems to work, really. No, see? And because our dashing takes time, you can actually punish me. I already explained that in the defense video, and it was okay. I think it's good to repeat that. But offense in Soku is basically all are down the corner almost. And funny stuff, if you get knocked down, Oki is also about pushing them back to the corner because you kinda need them in that spot. In offense, I feel like I just kinda bubble about, you know, what do you think? I feel like I just kinda said nothing for like 130 when it came to how to do pressure, you know? What do you think?
What are you talking about? You explained quite a bit.
I explained quite a bit, but I don't know if it was understandable.
First you explained Oki, so what you said...
You keep getting catched.
You should assume... Sorry.
Okay,
so
yeah.
What...
Do me overview of what I said.
I'll summarize what you just said. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So first things first. So the first we talked about Oki. Normally in other games where you don't have tech, you just attack their wake up.
Yeah.
With meat, basically. But Soku has a thing where you can tech on the ground and it's invincible. But due to like how the game works and how pressure and neutral to some extent work, you're gonna have to assume, for the most part, that they're going to tech towards the center. So even if so ideally they take the center and you get good Oki, you get a meaty. Even if they don't, you're in the center, they're near the corner.
Exactly. Yes.
So I mean, at that point you have the neutral advantage and get back.
And that was the Okizeme.
That's the okay part. And then pressure. For pressure, you have. Give me a second to think, okay, about what you said.
Yeah, but the pressure was kind of wonky. I admit that.
It wasn't that wonky. I think we talked about the same thing as defense, but reverse. So like you have each character has like certain moves. You have this cancel tree, and as at one point they're gonna end in the command normal. Once they do that, what are they gonna do? Melee cancel or bullet? Well then, what are you gonna do? BE or block the melee cancel? And after the melee cancel is blocked, you punish them because they're like minus. So yeah. Then you have each character has their own gimmicks and stuff to like deal with that, you know.
Yeah.
Marissa has a freaking charge of 5C, like freaking charge B is plus. Yobu has like Rekka and stuff, but these are all character specific gimmicks that you gotta learn one by one as you play the game.
The mistake I did was I kind of lost myself into these specifics, while the basics of the fundamental is that
the basics are just you have the cancel tree.
Check your escape points basically, because if you do 6A, you're giving them a big escape point. But if you
and then like not only that, but like keep in mind that use what I just said. That's how they're going to. So you're gonna have to think about, okay, so I'm gonna use a command normal. What do I do? Because is he gonna BE? Is he gonna mash? Is he gonna keep blocking? And then that will determine like what you do. So like you're like, okay, I'm gonna press 6A. He's gonna block, so I'm gonna cancel 6A into a bullet, which is super minus for me, but they're gonna block it. So you know, hey.
Also, it's good if the player blocks a bullet, which sometimes doesn't happen too well from a command.
Yeah, and then like there's like a few other things as well.
Like as Ling, it's not godlike to have you block 5C, but block this. It still can be good to set up a re-jump in like this.
Yeah.
A re-jump in like this, which then you can land cancel.
Oops. Yeah.
You can then. Oh wow.
1 second.
Because you can basically land cancel into speed damage, and that gives you more pressure, as I explained.
This was really weird. Okay, got it. No. Alright, got it. Yeah, alright.
Like bam, bam, because this kind of pressure is super strong. Like being able to re-jump in. Having the opponent block a bullet is quite strong, because usually from bullets you can set up stuff that can stop the jump. Like if you try to jump from J to from 6B, jump away from this. You can still keep in checks to a degree. It's not perfect, obviously. Some characters don't really have a really hard time doing this. But it can still work because not everyone is going to chicken block. Sometimes people forget to do that, which is really strong. Even if the chicken block, air pressure, as I said, is not good, but keep jumping. You can still set up. Yeah, jump after the 6B. After this. You can still set up something to actually make it decent.
Yeah, I think like there's one other thing.
People are not machines; they never do something perfectly.
Yeah, I think you didn't say this directly, but I guess I can sort of explain how like let me try to explain like how the mentality of all of it.
Yeah.
Could you sit in the corner for a bit, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so pretend I'm pressuring you, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
I mean, I cannot. Oh, there you go.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, now that's one layer.
All right, so let's try that again, okay?
Oh, damn it.
All right, let's try that again. Let's try that again. All right, so right there, okay?
Yeah.
What happened there was that I did far 5A.
Yeah.
And I didn't cancel it into anything. I walked forward instead.
Yeah, I did nothing. I was scared.
So what happened was that like that if I used 6A, you would get hit. All right, so you blocked, but 6A didn't come out, and then you're like, oh no, I should have mashed. And it would have worked. But by the time you realize it, it's too late. I'm already plus. I'm not even plus. I'm just mentally plus.
Yes.
Mentally plus. Yeah. That's what I think. This is very. I feel like this is almost as important as like freaking frame data plus. Like
yeah, I
explained
that in a way. We explained that.
Yeah, because like it's like, yeah, and this is this for Alice at least is a.
I explained that through the Rekka, because Rekka is literally that. It's super minus, but because you're scared of the next hit, you respect it.
Yeah, so like for example, like what happened, like break this down into like a freaking. I pressed far A, right? And then when this happened, in my mind and in your mind, basically there are two follow-ups to this. I do nothing, or sorry, no, I walk. Sorry, not even. Let's go before that, okay? Before that. I didn't press anything. I'm here. I do this, right?
Right.
So I do this, right? So as I do this, we're both thinking, now let's do nothing, or I can do this.
You basically, you have a range advantage. So either jump away or throw a bullet.
Yeah. So what happens is that if you don't block, if I walk and you don't block, far 5A from my side will win. However, if you do block, walking forward is gonna win for me. If you don't, all you do is block. So this is a mental. This is like a mix-up without anything happening. This is like you have mental plus you have a mental mix-up.
It's hard to explain because you basically have to have the opponent know that something can happen from a certain position.
And like not even that, like not even that, like as I was walking towards, right? So you weren't. I was walking towards you. I was spending like a whole second walking towards you. I wasn't plus. You weren't plus. We were both +0.
Yeah.
So there were no attacks. No one was jumping in. Nothing was happening.
But you had the range.
I was still pressuring you.
Yeah. And you had the range.
I was still pressuring, and this is the pressure that happens in our minds. This is an AI would not see any pressure.
No.
But we would see it because we're experiencing this sort of pressure. So this happens because we're people. We're not freaking robots or whatever. As human beings, we sort of feel that we feel this sort of pressure instead of this is what they call JP pressure as like a sort of meme. But like so like for example, if you were a robot, you could kind of tell. You would tell from frame 1 I pressed I pressed walk and you instantly kill me, but you can't. No one can.
There was a bot like that in Street Fighter 4, the Ken bot. It will do Shoryuken pretty much every time he calls.
So like win. This is like this gives me an artificial. Basically the amount of time a human reacts that is added to my to me if in like a certain scenario like this
and
when I'm not actually attacking
and after that FR5A you can do so many things now that are not even tight. So for example you could set up a doll FR5A
like there are a few things like that's how you do this. So like for example like even in close pressure if I do that, right, what do I do after that? I can do two things. I can do this.
I expected third hit, the high one.
You should have jumped then. See, that's how it is. If you like, I do have to 5 hit twice. Right?
Yeah. There
Now,
you go.
if you jump after that, then you'll get hit. If you don't jump,
Yeah.
like
And,
that. Yeah.
and
See?
if you
Yeah.
respect the third hit, you can do jab, jab, then jump. You can even jump high and do something.
Like that. See?
Yeah.
So like now you're respecting all that. So
Yeah.
because my pressure is really good here, not over here. If you're like, if I do that too much, you're like, oh, I'm gonna. No. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. And then like what else? Even two.
Yeah.
This,
the thing is that if you have
like,
good,
this,
if you have
that.
a good flowchart, it's really
Yeah.
easy to block. That's the
And
problem.
this isn't even a flowchart. This is like a flowchart after every move. Like
Yeah.
as you're saying, before flowcharts, I was like, oh, I have a giant. I like your macro buying the 500 inputs to this button. No, that's not how it works. After every move, whether it's like this or this, there are always two options I can do. One depends whether it's something that you're gonna mash or whether it's something that you're gonna block. And if I think you will block, I'm going to do something that will encourage you to match. That's something that if you had matched, you would have won.
It's
is
another
like-
simplification, but yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
like that because it,
I mean, it's oversimplifying, but that's essentially what it is. At
Yeah,
the
I know.
very fundamental level.
the thing is that there is more.
Yeah.
If you go back and we rewatch the defense video, do some pressure on me. The problem is this: do pressure. Do some pressure on me. See that? You're no wrong
Yeah.
blocking me. At best, you're getting hits. Do some pressure.
Oh, I mean, like, okay.
Do extra pressure.
I mean, I have
Go-
bad
go- go ahead,
pressure
go ahead.
here. It's
Go
more
ahead.
like, yeah.
Even if I overblock a lot, I'm still alive. Like try to crush me.
Yeah, you
that's
are.
all. And that's the
Yeah,
problem.
try to crush you? I mean, why should I try to...
I mean, try to crush me just to showcase this
Wait,
thing.
wait for the weather to go away. I need to set up a dog before I hand to crush you.
Really?
Alright, I also need another orb.
I see.
Yeah. I'm
with-
not good at efficient
With that
crushing.
last explanation, I think we can be done because that it's the
Yeah.
fight between how to pressure and how to defense. It's the
Alright.
two coins of the same.
Alright, 1 second, wait.
Okay. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, that crushes me. But it's kinda the last thing
Yeah,
is in the real.
I misinputted something.
Okay.
Ah, come on. 1 second, this is...
I give you space. Do whatever.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
This is actually harder than it looked.
I assume so. Okay.
Okay, what happened was that I was supposed to, like, first you block the first stall, and then I hit you with the skill. Then, as you block the second doll, I cast bomb and it crushes you.
Long story short, it's hard to have like. It's important to have good. That was
There we
bad
go.
defense. I basically blocked
Yeah.
correctly stuff that wasn't even necessary.
Yeah.
Do it again. Air stuff, it's all high, high, and I go crashing away because I use so many dolls. That's good. That's good.
You
There is
block
also
the-
overblocking.
no,
That
that's
was
it, yeah.
that was abusing
Yeah.
my overblock. But if you block correctly, it's really hard to properly crash someone. I swear I blocked that one.
You did block. Alright.
Down. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure on the low. I knew it was.
I
gonna
wasn't
be,
sure either.
But I think. Well, yeah.
I decide these.
The long story short is that if someone
Yeah.
has good defense that knows the flowchart, you yourself need to break that logic.
This is why you don't flowchart. You press a button
No,
and then you.
flowcharting is fine because that creates an idea that you have to break. Break those expectations you have set up to do.
I guess
pressure.
like I
Mix
guess
up-
is what I was saying is that like instead of doing a flowchart, do one step at a time.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah, that too.
yeah, like so as I said, like you press 5AA. Like people are like, okay, so my flowchart is 5AA, 2A, 3A, like all this string. No, don't do that. Do
Like
it one by
down,
one.
down,
After
down.
each move, decide what to do. And then at that point, you sort of like, you can make every single area, every single point in your pressure into a 50-50.
But you need to create like a proper flowchart to do that. Which
Even
is
then, like, it's not, I don't think, like,
there
is one.
The flowchart is not a bad thing for him. Like, I have a flowchart for Yomu. The thing
Like,
is
it's not a bad thing, but you use the in order to break it.
Yeah, exactly. The truth is that you have more flowcharts. And you
like, the flowchart is like, if they're going to block every hold for and like close their eyes. That's your flowchart. And then you break it at points where they won't.
Yeah, you break the expectation you have set up through that flowchart. So basically, you use a flowchart, then pick a new one, so you break the expectation of the old one. Pretty much.
I made a picture with this. Let me look for it. Wait.
It's basically the entire logic, because there is a specific flowchart you can follow on defense that I actually explain in the video about defense. And if you take that and then reverse engineer that flowchart so you damage it, so you do the opposite of that, you're already on a pretty good good path to actually make pressure that can actually damage the opponent pretty heavily.
I think, what was it here? Let me look for it. I'm trying to find the image made.
Find it.
It's just the flowchart. It's like the basic freaking like baby flowchart files. I use like a lot of a couple guides and read, and then let's see, it has image from me.
But on top of that, we basically are. That was the entire offense explanation. I feel it could have been done better if we kind of got lost somewhere. But I think it gives some ideas. It gives some ideas on how to.
It's over here.
Before closing.
So like, as you can see, this is if they block. And then, so like, if you the right option is if they block. The left option is if they're not going to block, you hit them and you get a free combo. So this is not close range. Close range is more like the objective. Close range is to hit them, make sure they respect you, and then do this string.
Before closing, allow me to do some pressure on you to close it out.
Well, what do you want to do? Play?
No, I just do some pressure.
Alright.
I try to block it.
To escape or block?
Get out of there if you can. Even match me out. Just to close it out. That was bad. Whoa, that was good. There we go. Nice. I can't follow up, but nice. That was risky, but it worked. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm just showing up some stuff that basically showcases that was a really high, like kind of really
out of orbs.
kind of ballsy pressure, because there is no a tight point, but it was really strong because it's all plus and block. That was good. That was good. Called me out.
Nice.
Nice. As you can see, like there are so many breakpoints that I try to close.
Alright, nice.
Delaying the dial works a lot, and if you one block the dial hit, I'm actually +2. The fourth one. There we go. This just to showcase how pressure can be done. And Yomu is not the only character capable of this. It's just that you need to understand how.
Imagine Yomu being able to from pressure in this game.
That would be crazy. Yomu has really good pressure.
Yeah. A lot of her meter is built around pressure, so she has to have good pressure. Otherwise, no one would use clones.
And there are basically so many layers you
The
can
classic.
work. Yeah, there are so many layers you can work with. Like spell cards are
Yeah.
part of your pressure actually. You should use them to actually stop people from. When you go
I mean,
into
I bring 4 Hollands, no
yeah,
shit.
exactly. When you go into the deep end of your pressure,
Yeah.
like there, it's over. But not really. You still have the cancelable hit of the spell cards. You should be
Yeah.
ballsy sometimes. Do that. Otherwise, you can stick. Oh wow. Otherwise, you can stick to basics and do this kinda. Wow. Okay. And do this kind of thing. Obviously, different tools. Oh wow, was that? Okay, fine. There we go.
Most Yomus don't do 6AA or 6AA
Yeah, no, I know.
because it's super minus.
Ah!
Like that.
But yeah. Point is, get some practice, understand the flow, understand the scale of cancel and all of those where the commitment comes from for your character. Because again, if I pick Yomu, the commitment is crazy. I can do some stuff that shouldn't be legal. But then I pick Suika, it's like, wow, if I press 2 buttons, my pressure is over. Damn, son.
Not really. I mean,
Okay, let me pick Suika.
I mean, I feel like the chart that I am.
No, trust me,
it
it
should
just
be. I don't know, like
it ends
let me
immediately. If I do 5AA, I can only do either
I mean,
uppercut
okay, so
or
like-
2B.
Like, if, for example, even if it's 2 buttons and your pressure ends, that just flowchart pressure for an infinitely blocking opponent.
It's a
is
lot
just-
harder to flow with Suika. Trust me, I tried.
I mean, like, what I'm saying is that, like, the thing that I was trying with the picture is like basically the way that I feel that I should make my pressure and others should make theirs, if it works, I guess, is to just make a flowchart for an infinitely blocking opponent and then find a node in each spot where they can sort of change it to someone who doesn't block.
Sana
infinitely.
actually has great pressure. You should ask Shining Bolt. He knows everything about
Yeah.
it. But should I
So,
actually
I mean-
go for it? Let me show some showcase something actually.
Alright, cool.
Suika is definitely harder to do because she has to 2-1-4B a lot and then work with that. But basically, I thought with this,
So, like,
with this one for example, that's a plus button. You have to do it from the right range. Try to mash me out. After. You may think that this doesn't work. Like, who is going to block that? But understand this. I'm hitting people with 30 plus frames moves, and this is not that different actually. It has the same speed pretty much. So it's actually kind of normal. And it is plus on block. You can actually do this and then press another button, and if you try to do anything, you win every single time.
yeah.
He explained to me also this. There was some sick movement tech. It's kind of hard. There's some sick movement tech where you just do that and it's a plus. You can set it out from like you
I
can.
know that, like, I think Shining Bolt is the expert.
Yeah, he's way better than me on this, obviously.
Yeah.
You can also charge this, and you can create more if you pay 1.
If you don't land, cancel it.
No, if you
Oh my
do
God.
this and then do this,
Ah!
it costs 1 and you
What
throw
was
away.
that? What was that? It's like,
It costs 1 and you keep everything. Shine Bolt is definitely the expert, but Sana has some really good pressure. Like I remember, I think this into this is actually plus on like on
It
this. If you do that,
wait for your Kanako meter to come back.
oh yeah. And if you do like
Yeah.
5C 6-3, it actually is plus at the end. Bum. But only mid screen.
Only mid screen, yeah.
This
Try
one
that
is
again.
this should be plus. Oh yeah, this one is plus 2. I'm using the same logic I explained in this video. Like this one is like pop pop. That's plus.
Yeah.
It looks slow, I know. It doesn't look real, but trust me.
Dude, do you want to hear something about? Do you want to know what looks slow?
No.
Block right now. Just block.
That is mega real. That's mega real. That one doesn't do much. That is also not bad.
I can't block this, so I can't block the.
This one is really good if you know what you're doing. It's kind of hard. I know there is a setup like you do the there you go. You do something like that. You bam bam and then you. Shining Ball is the expert, but Sana can still do the same pressure I explained here by using the concept of Suika. Suika again, when she reaches the third hit, she's kind of off. So on the second one. Block. So basically Sana does the same thing, where you just kind of block and block. Fahim.
Alright.
Block.
Oh, block, right, okay.
You can use this or this. And that is really fast actually. And it's plus on block. From a certain distance.
One second.
And it's really good. And Sana has a really good button that can also do big damage, so she's definitely scary. Oh yeah, my favorite one. Check this out. You see this one, this spell card? I don't remember anymore how it was, but basically, if I remember correctly, it was something like 6A, like 2 jabs, 6A, and then if you were to do, oh god, I don't remember anymore. Try to high jump if I do this spell card. I need you to block.
High jump or block?
Blocked and then I jump while in the block. No.
Ow.
Block like once I do the spell card, go into jumping. I don't remember anymore too well. It was something like 2 jabs and then projectile to make it tight. So like bam. You can jump, right?
Yeah. Oh. Right.
Did you try to jump that one?
Not exactly. I wasn't.
Why are you sleeping on the wheel? Let me try. Basically, that one is actually a really good. It's a super good spell card that is actually 2 cost and is fully tight and plus on block. Sana definitely has really good pressure, but no one took the time. Just let me mesh you. I need to the meter. But definitely no one took the time to actually learn what she can do and how she can do certain things. This one is actually tight if done from this. It's really hard.
No, it's not.
No, it is, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
So, okay, block the specker and try to high jump away, alright?
Alright.
It was...
Frick!
I was late on the cancel. It's kinda hard. I mean, let me see if I have another. I think I do. I want to showcase this and then I swear I'll end the stream because I will talk about everything. Sana being bad at pressure is kind of a big thing because people do the kind of pressure that...
Anyone being bad at pressure is...
Because we talk about this, the kind of pressure people do is...
The only variation that I see is that... Why are you doing this? Okay.
The type of pressure that people expect a character to do in Soku is 1, 2, 3, cancel, high jump something. But that is basically, it's not like it's not true. You can do that, but that's
I mean, like, as I said, like the way that you do, the way that I think you should do, make a flowchart for a infinitely blocking opponent, use that flowchart, and then change each place, each action to the action that you would use if they weren't blocking, and make sure this flowchart loops into itself permanently.
You kind of have to find your own way to do that kind of stuff.
I mean, each character has their own. Like, for example, because whatever.
Oh wow, that is tight actually. What the fuck? You can do the wavy into the bullet.
It's a waste of a meter.
You say that, but I don't know.
It did 500 chips. Come on.
It could be
and
good.
It didn't even do that many orbs.
Could be good on Cloudy. Could be good on Cloudy. Okay,
yeah,
so. Okay.
Do this right, please.
What was it? It was a... Wait. No?
Just do that and I'll high jump from it.
Yeah, okay, it's double jab, I think. See? That is high damaging spit and is plus on block. Now, sorry, I need to do this again because it's kind of insane, that thing. I love it. It's 2 cost! It costs 2! It does so much damage! It's insane! There you go.
Wait, chip damage?
Chip damage is okay. Sana is not a chip damage character. Okay, so
I'm not being racist.
No, not being racist. I'll do it again. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so. It's plus on block!
Oh my god! What the...
And you just need to do, I think on dash it's 3 jabs.
Use a card.
Don't have it. There's no.
I don't have a card either.
Ah, but yeah, basically it's a crazy spell card. Like it has a cost of 2, and it's plus on block, and it's easy to set up. Just jab 5B, and then you do the spell card, and it's super powerful. Like Sane definitely has some crazy stuff. All characters have crazy stuff, but people have to break their own expectation and then break the opponent expectation. You need to find what is beyond the character. Otherwise, if I never went my way with Yomu doing jabs 5B, I will ever done the type of pressure I do now, which is super strong. Because people told me just do dial into common normal into phosphoric slash. That's tied into EG68. That's plus. And just repeat that basically. Instead, I just kind of went and tried this, jab stuff and all that. So experiment a bit. If you understood anything about what we said in this explanation, then go use that and experiment a bunch, and you'll probably find something interesting about the character. Just experiment.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
I think was it useful to you? Because I mean, I explained to you too.
I mean, it was definitely useful to me. I mean,
you're already doing fine, I'm pretty sure, right? So
I feel like I'm doing. I feel like I have most of the mistakes I do in Soku, I know why I do. It's either because I misread, misinputted, or did something stupid. But that's not actually no, not even stupid. I just misinputted or got the wrong read.
Right.
And as for pressure, like as I said, I think I already explained and the way I apply it. And I mean, it's similar to like how you said it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just find the block string that loops infinitely.
Remember to not do common normal right blocked into 2B. It's high jumpable. Stop that.
Do what? Wait, who?
You keep doing 3A into 2B, and that's high jumpable. And you every time you get bopped.
Yeah, I mean.
Stop doing that.
3A is like, but if I do 3A and you
don't do common normal that is right blocked into 2B, please. Just please. Okay, hopefully this was useful to you, to whoever watches this. And that was our takes on how pressure works in Hisoutensoku. I think it works decently, like if you try it. That said, have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later on.
See you next week on DTC.
Oh yeah, see you next week for DTC. Have a good evening, people. See ya.
Bye.